You know what? There used to be an African king who was so rich it made Egypt's economy plummet just because he passed by distributing gold. A king whose personal wealth could not be counted his journey made the world realize that the greatest center of wealth of the earth was not Europe or the Middle East, but West Africa. Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali, the richest man in human history. Mansa Musa was born around 1280 to the Keita clan, a noble family that claimed descent from Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Mali Empire. His childhood was spent in the neighborhood of Niani Palace, surrounded by Islamic scholars, strategists, and royal administrators. Musa had shown extreme intelligence and discipline, a master of Islamic law, a logistics expert, and an economist since his youth. But ironically, he was not the heir to the throne. His brother Abu Bakr II, holding the crown, and Moses was positioned as the deputy of the king, not the center. Until Abu Bakr II made the most absurd decision in history. Africa undertook a giant expedition to the Atlantic Ocean to search for the world across from it. He built thousands of ships, carried tens of thousands of people, and set off, then disappeared. None of the thousands of ships returned. And in just one moment, the Musa, who was considered a reserve, suddenly became Mansa Musa I, the ruler of one of the world's largest empires. Once powerful, Moses immediately showed his class. The Mali Empire at that time stood on the planet's largest gold mines, Dambak, Bure, and Wangara. More than half of the world's gold supply exceeds its power. Musa not only used the wealth, he doubled in Mali, conquering Go, Timbuktu, and the Roots, the Sahara trade that connected West Africa with the Islamic world. He built an efficient bureaucracy. Salt taxes, camel logistics, caravan routes, all remapped. And then came one of the most spectacular events in human history when going on the Mansa Musa Hajj in 1324. Moses did not go alone. He moved with 60,000 people, guards, slaves, cooks, clerics, diplomats, and workers. About 120 camels carried pure gold, each about 130 kilograms. Moses wore silk clothes, gold umbrellas, and in every city he passed, he distributed a lot of gold. Gifts to the poor, donations to the mosque, transactions without bargaining. As a result, the value of gold in Egypt fell dramatically. Prices of goods rose, the economy reeling for more than a decade. This is the only instance in history when an individual caused national inflation just by traveling. When he returned from Mecca, Moses brought architects, scholars, poets, and scientists. One of the most famous was Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, who helped build large mosques. Moses turned Timbuktu into a global center of science. Madrasas, libraries, universities, and high schools emerged. The city attracted scientists from Egypt, Persia, and Andalusia. Mali turned into a kingdom that was not just rich, but intelligent. During his reign, Mali reached the peak of power. The economy is stable, science is flourishing, trade is prosperous, and the territory is expanding. Moses was considered a just and religious king, but also strategic and harsh when needed. The last years of his life were spent strengthening the education system and ensuring Mali was ready for the future. But after more than 2 decades of leadership, Moses' health weakened. He died around 1337, left behind a wealth and a center of knowledge that stood far beyond his life. After Musa died, Mali slowly declined due to internal struggles and the emergence of new powers like Songhai. But Moses' inheritance was not lost. In the Catalan map of Atlas 1375, he is drawn sitting in gold, holding a golden ball, a symbol of absolute wealth that the world had never seen before. And to this day, after being recalculated based on modern market values, not a single billionaire, Rockefeller, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mansa Musa, remain at the top. He's not just a rich king. He is a symbol that Africa was once the economic center of the world, and that one human being could change global history just by crossing the desert while carrying gold.